Welcome back, Team Bazooka, and this is part 4 of the types of defense that we use in Bazooka Kickboxing, and it's head movement. I put it as number 4 because it's a type of defense that you really need to be careful with in kickboxing. You don't want to get over courageous and moving your head too much because of the kicking and the kneeing aspect in fighting. But it still is important to make sure you get your head off center line. So this is where head movement is good. But I like to use head movement mixed with the other 3 that I talked about. If you're moving your head too much, it's a little bit more difficult with the clinch, with the knees, front kicks. So it's very important that we use our head movement intelligently and we use it in a safe way to avoid kicks and knees. So a lot of the types of drilling I like to do when it comes to head movement is more single or double type punches, slip and rips types of drilling, but do not overcomplicate the head movement system. If you're able to move your head and avoid the punch perfectly, it's safe. So we're not going to go into too much detail because I want you to avoid those head kicks and those knee types of knockouts. There's other ways of defense that are more effective with kickboxing. And now we're going to talk about head movement and using demonstrations in order to use effective head movement in kickboxing. And why I say effective is because it's a type of defense you don't want to do too often in kickboxing because of the aspects of the knees and the kicks. So you have to think, anytime you're rolling your head underneath, there's an opportunity for a knee to come up right in the middle, and you've seen it way too many times in kickboxing. So when you watch the full 4 parts of the type of defense we learn, it's safer to use the parry, it's safer to use our movement, it's safer to use the shield, protects the head a little better, but this is still an effective move. If you want to get on the inside and attack with your boxing, it's necessary. Or if your other types of defense are good and they keep slipping a jab or counter hooks, you have to quickly be able to move and attack. So the way I like to work the head movement is it's okay to work constant moving because it's a way of getting flow with the head movement. But in kickboxing, I like to use it as more of a slip and rip type of drill where I can mix the types of defense. So remember, you don't always want to use one types of defense. I might use the shell mixed with a parry, mixed with a head movement. So they all intertwine, they all come together. So we'll start off with just Aviel moving his jab cross hook. I'm gonna slip, slip, roll. So that's the very basic sequence, slip, slip, roll, right? So slip, slip, roll is the easiest way. But one of the tricks I'm gonna tell you, if you slip, slip, and then roll off of the cross, you might get caught a little bit. So I'm gonna show you 2 ways to work the jab, cross, hook, head movement. So the first one is slip, and I roll, okay? So slip, slip, roll. Now, if I slip, sometimes that cross comes quick and I can eat the 2. So moment I hit that 2 and it catches me. So I can go slip, I can roll the 2, and I can roll the 3. So you don't necessarily have to follow that sequence. You can mix in rolling as well off of it. But the key when you're using your head movement, it's not overcomplicating the head movement. If you miss the punch, it's okay, follow up. Head movement is never gonna be perfect. You're gonna get hit sometimes. Some of them might clip you. That's all right, because when we move our head, we don't want to over-exaggerate, and that's one of the safest ways. So if Aviel throws the cross, I don't need to have my head this far away. I want the punch to basically just skin my ear. Boom. So now I'm in a position to attack, very simply. Okay, so we're gonna, when he does this combination, I'm gonna get the punch just to skin the top of my head. So 1, 2, 3, 1, skin, skin. Again, skin, roll, roll. Very effectively. So not moving our head too much. The last point I want to give you with the head movement is our foot positioning. If we are too long, okay, and we're sitting this way, it's not good at moving our head, and it's not good at being able to follow up and counter with your punches. So when I slip, I really need to get my shoulders in front. Right? When my shoulder's in front, it means I'm loading up on this side. So when I slip off to my right, see how all my weight is on my right side? This way I have power and it's loaded. When I slip off here, all my weight is on my front leg. This way it's a loaded target. So you can see as he slips off, boom, my shoulder's in front because I'm defending, and here I'm loaded on this leg. And now that allows me for hip extension, bang, and I can get good power off of it. You'll see a lot, if he throws the right hand, a lot of people do this, where they squat down. So you have no power, you have no body mechanics in order to do damage. So I want to slip, transfer my weight on the front, and I counter. Same thing with the jab. I slip, power here, and I can use my body cross, weight on, bang, okay? So once you have the basic slip, roll, roll, or slip, roll, once you find that comfort, start mixing in the slip and rip. And it's important you start very basic. Start with just the jab. So he jabs, I slip. Comes again, jab. I can slip to the inside, jabs again. So we get comfortable moving. Remember, there's no single way. I can come in, slip on the inside and attack. I can slip off the outside, okay? Coming in. So you can alter the way your head moves. Play around with it. And then you introduce the cross. Slip outside, attack. I can slip in, attack. Slip, attack. The key for the partner though is having to punch straight. If the partner tries to be nice to you, it actually makes it worse because they're trying to put it where they think you are. But if I move that way, I'm gonna get hit. So Abiel's gonna come right down the middle and I'm gonna counter. Weight transferring. Good. Making sure I'm confident. Another mistake you're gonna see people make is they're gonna be scared, so they're gonna try to stay away, which makes it more not as effective. So as the punch comes, boom, I wanna get comfortable, I wanna stay close, I wanna get inside and attack. Last point I'm gonna make with head movement is you have to understand and predict the punch. If you're sitting there waiting for it to happen, you're gonna get caught most likely. So you have to predict the punch and understand what's gonna come. So it's gonna take some fighting IQ and a lot of practice. So what I mean by that, if he jabs and I slip outside, okay, and hold it there for a sec, I know this hand's coming. So when I'm here, I'm watching. My left side's in front, I'm watching. As soon as I see the cross come, I'm rolling, okay? My hand's protecting, my shoulder's here, okay? Now I'm waiting. Logically, the hook's gonna come. As soon as I anticipate the hook, I roll the hook. If the other hook comes again, I can see, I'm watching what hand is coming. So anticipating, watching, and understanding fighting is gonna help you predict with head movement. Once you're comfortable, I just want one person to punch and the other person's just gonna move their head very relaxed. So it can be 1, 2, 3 again, and I'm just gonna move my head and flow with it, okay? Yeah, he comes, I can stay to the same side. I can move, good. I can move, just doesn't matter. I keep moving my feet, good. Right. No right way. If you slip off the wrong way, it's okay, keep going. As long as the punch doesn't hit you in the head, you're okay. There you go, head movement. Like I keep mentioning throughout the videos, you have to use head movement effectively. Don't get over carried away with it. That's when you're gonna be getting caught with those kicks and those knees. So remember, defense isn't just one way. You have to be able to mix and match. And a lot of times I will use a shell mixed with a parry, mixed with head movement, mixed with my footwork. So all types of defense changes depending on your opponent, depending on what you are trying to do. There is no one-way cookie cutter fit. That's why Bazooka Kickboxing is a lot about IQ. It's about learning and understanding. The more you understand about fighting, the more you understand defense, different things are gonna play. And again, depending on what your opponent and what you wanna do. Do you wanna counter with your punches? One defense will work better than the other, but some might work better for others. So work them all, understand them all, and try to implement them in safe sparring ways and drilling, and then build it into your fights. Remember, it takes practice. Start basic and build yourself out. It's progression. Fighting is about perfection, and this is what makes the sport of martial arts so beautiful, is that every day we're learning and every day we have a way to get better. So improve your defense. You're not working it enough. I am telling you right now, I know you're not working it enough. So get your training partner and work all 4 types of defense.